What's up, guys? Welcome back. I am so excited to be here with you today, and we are going to be talking about what it really means to own it. And as you can see, we have changed the name of the show and new cover art. Thank you to all of you that voted. I'm recording this right now, not knowing which art we have selected, but I'm sure it's great. I posted it on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, pretty much everywhere, and you guys had an overwhelming response of votes. And so let the best cover art win. But you guys have, if you whether you've been here for a while, if you just found me, hi, welcome. I am so excited you're here. And if you've been a long time listener, you should know this by now that I am somebody who has to keep listening to the call of my soul and following that evolution. And sometimes that means things need to change. And I've always wanted to be that person that just like picks one thing and does it for the rest of their fucking life. But that's just not who I am. And so I knew that based on the direction that I wanted to go, that I wanted the show name to really reflect the direction I'm going and to just feel more embodied. I love high frequency leadership as a thing, but it was a mouthful, honestly. And I want to make merch. I want to like create a really fun brand around this and own it. Feels like it encapsulates the work that I do, the message I'm here to share, the gifts that God gave me. And so here we are. But we're going to talk today about what it actually means to own it, because obviously beyond the show's name being different, it also means that the conversations that we're going to be having are going to be slightly different. And there's going to be so much more me infused into the show. If you did not listen to last week's episode on vulnerability, please go back and listen to that show or to that episode. First of all, I cried. I've never done that before. And I am never going to be somebody who is crying in my real life and then thinks to take my phone out to selfie myself, because I just don't do that, because I'm not thinking about that when I'm crying. It's just so crazy to me. But people be doing whatever they want to do. It's just not me. And so I'm like so surprised that I did cry on that episode, but I really pulled back the curtain, talked about High Achiever's Curse, my psychic gifts, and I had such a beautiful response from you all. So clearly y'all want more of the real, so I'm going to give it to you. The other thing I keep getting feedback on is that you want more solo episodes. So I'm going to give them to you too. We are going to have some guests on for specific things that I know will be invaluable for you. But it's not going to be a primarily guest show anymore. It's really going to be a me and then some awesome people that I bring on that just, it divinely happens. So we're going to just let that be what it is. I appreciate all of your feedback. Just thank you. I love you guys. And yeah, so go back, listen to last week's episode. And today is officially the first episode of Own It, which is so exciting. I don't even think I've realized the power that these two words hold. And maybe you don't either, but I know that for the majority of my life, up until I started my podcast, really, I was living in victim mindset. I really didn't understand why certain things were happening to me. And I had to get myself into a growth mindset. And that arguably has been the biggest transformation in my life, where I stopped blaming anyone outside of me or anything outside of me for anything that was going on in my life. I am not a victim. You're not a victim. And the second that you take just radical responsibility for your life, for your results, for your success, for the way you look, for the way your relationships, for everything that's going on in your life will transform. I, at one point, hated how I looked. I did not like my body. I didn't like how I felt in my body. And instead of blaming my familial line or blaming hormones or blaming blah, 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 I took responsibility and I figured that shit out. And it's the same with growing a business. I didn't know what I was doing. I grew a 7-figure business. Like, it is possible for you. And I want to empower you to show you that anything is possible. Literally anything is possible. And we are now in the world where anything that you want to do has probably been done before in a way. And so there's people out there who can expand your consciousness. The way that our brain works is, if we cannot see it to be possible, we often don't know that it is. And so it's really important to use social media and podcasts and consuming content to help you expand your mind for what's possible and I want the show to be part of that too. Okay. So what it really means to own it. For me, it really just means taking ownership for your life, taking ownership for who you are, for being authentic, for being yourself, and for living a life full of alignment, which often means that other people will be disappointed or feel a certain way. Okay. In order to own it, you cannot be a people pleaser. In order to own it, you cannot say yes when you really mean no. In order to own it, you have to be okay with people not liking you or being uncomfortable around you or projecting their stuff onto you. As a, especially for those of us who are light workers and who are here to do and make impact on planet Earth, our light will trigger some people and it will also empower some people. And it is not your job to micromanage their emotions. You need to let them feel however they're going to feel, but it's not your job. You need to stay in your inner authority and your sovereignty and your true essence and just keep taking one step at a time and one day at a time. Because the truth is, the more comfortable you can get with people not liking you and you not liking other people, the easier life is going to be. Okay. At one point, I wanted everyone to like me. I think we all go through this, maybe not, but I wanted everyone to like me. And so I would do anything and everything. If I felt any level of discomfort with anyone that I knew, I would try to fix it or solve it or have a conversation. When now it's like, there's just some things that I just don't care enough about. And most of those are people just not liking me. And it's obviously sad. Like it goes against our biology actually, because we want to be part of the tribe and we want to fit in. But when you are leading something and building something and living your life in your authentic way, not everyone is going to get that. And not everyone has the emotional intelligence to be able to hold space for your experience and your perspective and your way of living and theirs. A lot of people, I used to do this so much. A lot of people will make you wrong for the direction and for the way that you want to be, instead of just recognizing that, oh, actually, we just have different preferences or we just have different values. That's okay. We can all have different values and preferences. It doesn't mean we need to project our stuff onto other people. So that is part of owning it too, is really just staying true to who you are. There have been so many things in my life that I have done unconventionally. Like when I was 25, I dated a 50-year-old man. I'll probably do an episode on that. I don't think I have yet. He was a soulmate for me. I still have so much love in my heart for him. And we parted ways because, well, I knew I wasn't going to be able to have a family with him. And he wanted that for me. And so we ended. And it was really painful. But like from the outside, everyone thought I was fucking batshit and crazy. And like, what are you doing? And like, this is weird. And sure, okay, according to society standards, it is. But I feel like I'm a little alien, and I knew my soul and his soul were supposed to be together, and I would not be with Kurt, my husband, today if I did not date him, because he prepared me to be with a man, and that changed my life, right? And if I hadn't listened to my intuition and hadn't just trusted myself and tuned out the people that were not supportive, that I thought were friends, I probably would not be with, I believe, who is my soulmate. You guys know how I feel about Kurt. I love him so much. And yeah, so that's one of the unconventional things I've done. I've done so many unconventional things. I was talking to my herbalist yesterday or the day before, and he was asking me about times in my life where I've experienced the most fear or worry or anxiety. And I told him every single time I've made a leap. When I left my job as an architect and I took the leap into freelance design and personal training, I had nobody in my life that had done that yet. I did not know a single person who left the safety of a 9 to 5. Oh my God. To tell you I was terrified, I would have to go back and look in my journals, which I probably will do at some point as I'm writing my book. But like, holy shit, man. It was really intense. I remember feeling like I was going to die, but I also felt like I was going to die if I stayed in that unaligned career. And I had work lined up for me. It wasn't like I just took the leap with nothing. I did have work lined up for me, some freelance design jobs, but still, it was so scary. I had never gone off on my own before. So that's another example, right? Like where I had to just tune out the noise and like trust myself and like go inward and really listen to my heart. And owning it is going to make you unpopular at times. Owning it is going to make you seem like the oddball at times. Owning it is going to make you feel like you don't belong. It's gonna make you feel lonely. It's going to make you feel like you're this, like, little alien, which welcome to the club, you are. But, like, truly, when you just show up authentically and as yourself, the right things will find you and the wrong things will fall away. When you show up in your brand voice and you speak truly how you would speak to your friends, like, the right people will find you and the wrong will fall away. And so you're gonna have to be okay with disappointing people who want you smaller or more dimmed or more diluted or whatever, and you're gonna have to be okay with finding new tables to sit at and really keeping your standards high. One of the things I know to be true about myself is that I used to have the lowest fucking standards ever. I had, like, 0 standards. I would call myself low maintenance. Now, I would say that I have very high standards, and I don't know if I would call myself high maintenance, but I definitely have a level of maintenance that is required for me to exist. Like, you will always see me having my nails done. It's just something that I do now. And I feel like all of my friends that didn't get their nails done, or clients too, when we meet up in person, they always compliment my nails, and then I'm like, "You should get them done," and then they get them, and then they get addicted because it's so fun and sexy having nails. So, it's just something that it will be me. I will own it. And it's like I'm an athlete, right? I run trails, I do all these things, but I also have nails. Almost never see runners or athletes or people in the gym really with nails. Very, very little. And a past version of me be like, "Oh, I shouldn't have nails because the gym," but I'm like, "No, I want both. I wanna be all of it." And that is what this whole entire podcast and my entire brand and message is really about, is just fucking owning it. Owning who you are, what you want, what you don't want, and being unapologetic about it. And it does not mean bulldozing your way through life. That is not what it means. I am a very kind and loving and empathetic and highly sensitive human. I don't I'm not aggressive about my standards. I'm not aggressive when I talk to people, but it's like you can be a very calmly centered, high standard, powerful woman or man without being obnoxious and loud. Okay. I don't think those two things are magnetism. They're not magnetic. And we're going to be talking a lot more about magnetism, how to build it. It's something that you guys have been sharing that you want me to talk more about. And, you've made the reflection to me, "Oh my God, you're so magnetic." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, I guess I am?" So thank you for that. I received that, but I also want to share with you how to become that. And anyone can become magnetic, but you have to let go of all of the shoulds, what you think you should do, the obligations, the, stories that you've been telling yourself, or stories that you've allowed parents or friends or people in your past to project onto you that you've taken as yours. We need to break free of all that conditioning, inner child work, shadow work, all the things. And we're going to be talking about that, what it looks like to show up more firm, more assertive. Women specifically, you need this. You do not need to be asking for permission anymore. We are done in the people pleasing era, and I am very assertive. I ask for what I want, and often I get it, and not from a place of entitlement, just from a place of persistence, and knowing that if I want it, I will get it no matter what. I will go out there and I will fucking get it, because why would I not, right? And I want to instill that same delusion and self-belief and confidence and inner authority in you as well. Okay. So yeah, own it is about owning it. It's about owning your voice. It's about owning who you are. It's about owning what you do and don't want. It it's the way to live in the most amount of freedom and joy and bliss and have a absolutely fucking beautiful life. And I will be talking way more about relationships because it's been coming up so much more with some of my advising clients that I do, like, spiritual advising for, where they're, growing a legacy, but then there's friction in their relationships or friction in their marriage, or because of course there's going to be. And I want to speak to that because that's happened in my relationship with Kurt and my relationship with a lot of friends. Like, this stuff happens. And so yeah, we are going to redefine what it means to be a fucking woman, okay? Having needs does not make you selfish, and needs are just really big wants. So it's like you get to have whatever you want. You truly do. You don't have to settle. I promise you that. There there is no benefit in you being liked by the masses if you don't even like who you are, right? And so you got to stay true to you. You got to ask for what you want. You have to put yourself out there. You have to be willing to be seen, and it is going to be vulnerable and it is going to be intimate. And if you have a fear of intimacy or vulnerability or being seen, well, get ready to crush those dragons, because we are going to make you the most magnetic, self-expressed, and most powerful version of you by truly being you. The version of you that is you, like the one that you came out of the womb being, we need to return you back to that state. And it's going to take time, and it's going to take tools, and it's going to take resources, and it's going to take the right people and the right friendships and the right partnership and marriage and relationship, and the right way of thinking. Mindset is everything. And, not being brainwashed by society in so many different ways. It is going to be waking you up to the truth generally, and then the truth of who you are. And I'm so excited because, yes, we're still going to talk about business and brand. And I am going to be doing a series here on the show every month called Behind the Brand, where I'm going to be sharing with you how I'm building Voice and Visibility, which is my podcast and media company, how we're growing that. All of our clients, shouting them out, bringing them on to share their experience, because I just think the creative process is so fun. And we are going to be going down this road of you being who you're here to be, you being who your soul innately came here to be and what you came here to do, uniquely you. Okay. So if you're excited, please let me know in the comments of YouTube or Spotify or my DMs or anywhere really. And I'm stoked. We're going to fucking own it together. And I am going to finally make merch. I've wanted to make merch. I've had so many iterations of merch, and I did have merch for my retreat. It said, "What would your highest self do?" But I want to have a full merch line where we do like a collaboration with Free People Movement. I fucking love Free People, and I love their movement, their new store movement. And so I am manifesting that. If you have a contact, if anyone that listens to the show is a contact at Free People Movement up top, I've already had conversations with them, but like up top, I want to do a collab line. I don't want to just like start a new line from scratch. I really want to leverage the colors and the fonts and the fabrics and the high quality, and do some bright colors. And yeah, so that's what's on the docket. Okay. I'm stoked. Let me know if you are. It's going to be fun. It's going to be entertaining. There's going to be hilarious rants and vulnerable stories, of course. But I just want to say thank you for coming along for the ride with me and all of the pivots that we have been on together. Okay. If you are not already subscribed to this, please make sure you subscribe and tell your friends to subscribe. This show is going to change your life. It is. It's going to change your life. I love you. Thank you for being here. Go hit the little bell on YouTube or hit follow on Apple or Spotify, and I'll see you next week. Okay. Love you. Bye.